Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back for day 13 of the Tantric path in practice. Today we get to loop back to the moon. Very little that I need to say about this at this point, I think. One thing we will be leaning into, maybe a little bit more today than we have in the previous practices, is the extension of exhale. So throughout the practice, I will just invite you to become first aware of the energy of the exhale, which is usually one of softening, releasing, quieting, calming, stilling, things of that nature. And then I'll invite you to just play with gradually extending the length of the exhale. Please set aside any sort of achievement-oriented mindset so that you are not striving to extend your exhale to a certain length, because that will be self-defeating. So instead, just feel into how the exhale wants to extend naturally without invoking any sort of struggle or strain. We're trying to soothe the nervous system, and if we exert too much effort, all we'll do is trigger it back into that sympathetic response, which is fight and flight. Not helpful here. Aside from that, do your best to enjoy these longer holds and these forward folds. Let the mind become quiet and still. If you start to feel sleepy or more internally oriented, great. Initially, the nervous system will recognize relaxation as a transition into sleep. Eventually, we will move beyond that and not necessarily find sleepiness, but just ease. But if for now it's sleepiness, embrace that, respond accordingly. And I think that's it. Let's go ahead and come onto our mats, and we'll start out on our back. You're welcome to have the knees bent or the legs straight. Most of the time, you get a little bit more length in the lumbar spine if the knees are bent, so I like to begin that way. Place the hands on the belly for a few breaths and invite awareness to become absorbed in the subtle movement of the breath, that effortless rise and fall. Feel into the rhythm of the breath. For now, samavriti, so equal inhales and exhales, but with a little bit more attention to the exhale. Now bring the hands down onto the floor, palms facing down. Maybe draw the shoulder blades a little bit further down the back so you've got more freedom in the range of motion through the shoulders. On an inhale, about a 4-count inhale, just reach the arms up and over. And then a 5-count exhale to bring the arms back down. 4 count inhale, reaching up and over. 6 count exhale. 4 count inhale. 7 exhale. 4 count inhale. 8 count exhale. Pause for a moment and just notice. Continuing to work with a 4 count inhale and for now a 6 count exhale, as we'll be introducing a little bit more movement. On inhale, go ahead and lift both the pelvis and the arms. 4 count inhale. 6 count exhale to lower. And draw the thighs into the belly. Inhale and extend the legs straight up, arms up and over again. 6 count exhale to bend the knees and bring the arms back down by your sides. And eventually return the feet to the mat. Inhale to bridge, lift the pelvis and arms. 6 count exhale to lower. And hug the thighs into the chest. Inhale, extend the legs, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, bend the knees, bring the arms down, and eventually release the feet to the floor. Now 4 in, 8 out, if that's comfortable. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale to extend. Exhale to lower. Two more rounds like that. Take your time. When that has completed, just rest and notice. Hug your right thigh into your belly. And just soften here. 4 count inhale, 8 count exhale. Set the right foot down. Take a moment just to notice. Draw the left thigh in. About 4 breaths here. 4 count inhale, 8 count exhale. Just softening. And at the bottom of an exhale, just release the foot back down. And again, take a moment to notice. Let the feet come to the outer edges of the mat. Let the arms open out to the sides. Inhale and the knees are straight up. Exhale and the knees fall off to one side. Inhale and the knees come up. Exhale the knees to the other side. But stay with this for a few more rounds, moving slowly with the breath. Keep going until you have visited both sides equally. And then return to the first side. And from here, we're going to make a couple of minor adjustments. The leg that is rotated internally, if you can bring that thigh so that it is parallel to the long edges of the mat, and bend the knee as close to 90 degrees as possible. Then just linger here and let gravity do the work for you. If you're not experiencing very much, you're welcome to stack your left foot on top of your right thigh and draw it a little bit more heavily toward the earth. Choose wisely so you're not introducing too much struggle or strain. We want to soften here. 4 count inhale, 8 count exhale. To complete that twisting experience, you're welcome to look off to the opposite side that the knees are pointing. And for even more, you're welcome to place the left palm on the belly and come back to the experience of the breath moving with the diaphragm. At the bottom of an exhale, starting to move out of that, bring the head upright, release the hand that was on the belly. Inhale and bring the knees up. Adjust the pelvis back to a neutral position and then remain here for a moment, just noticing. Continue to breathe until the next exhale lowers the knees to the opposite side. Once the knees have lowered, make that little adjustment again. So the leg that is rotated internally is extending so that it's parallel to the long edges of the mat. Then let gravity do the work for you. If there's more sensation that you're craving, more release, you're welcome to cross the right ankle over the left knee or thigh and just let the weight of the right leg draw the left leg or the extended leg a little further down. Feel free to look in the opposite direction that the knees are pointing, and maybe the hand comes onto the belly to bring more awareness to the breath. Gently moving out of this, bringing the head back up to the center, releasing the arm, and letting the knees float up. Pelvis comes back to a neutral alignment, and just notice. Hug both thighs in toward the belly, and then just place the hands on the knees and gently rock the legs away from the belly and back in toward the belly. Loose and easy. And then gently side to side. Good. Now we'll make our way onto our hands and knees. You can either roll off to one side or maybe take a hold of the back side of the thighs and gently rock and roll up and down the length of the spine. I like to do this a few times and then roll over crossed legs to come onto the hands and knees. If that doesn't feel good or if it feels like too much effort, opt for something that's more appropriate. So moving on to the hands and knees. Give yourself a moment just to feel into the body, shifting, swaying, whatever you'd like. And then with awareness on the exhale, maybe extended, maybe not, Just start to take the pelvis around in a few slow, smooth circles. Switch directions. And then come back through to the center. Good. Bringing the knees and the feet together, if that's comfortable and available in your body. If not, feel free to set up in whatever way is better for you. We'll start to play with dynamic Chakravakasana, so moving from hands and knees to child's pose, gradually increasing the length of exhale. Inhaling here. 5 count exhale to draw back, rounding the spine, gently lifting through the pelvic floor, bending the elbows and lowering the forearms and the forehead. Inhale back up to the hands and knees. 6 count exhale. Inhale, hands and knees. 7 count exhale. Inhale, lift. 8 count exhale. Remain in your child's pose. 4 count inhale, 8 count exhale. One more breath here. On the next inhale, let's come back up to the hands and knees. 5 count exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, lower the knees. 6 count exhale, down dog. 2 more times, a 7 count exhale, and then 8. Stay in downward facing dog. 4 count inhale, 8 count exhale. On the next inhale, lift the heels, soften the knees, look toward the hands. Exhale, step lightly up to the top of the mat. From here, soften the knees, feet are about hip distance apart, basically parallel to one another. 4 count inhale to lift halfway. 8 count exhale to fold. 4 count inhale, lift halfway. 8 counts to fold. Two more times. And stay in the fold. Knees are bent. Feet are at least hip distance apart, maybe even a little bit wider. We want the torso to be pressing against the thighs. And then the hands can be wherever they're the most helpful to support you staying in this posture with steadiness and ease. 4 count inhale, 8 count exhale. Release whatever hold you have on the hands. And on an inhale, press down through the feet. Rise, just let the hands rise up the back side of the legs. On an exhale, soften into your Tadasana and just breathe. And from here on an inhale, float the arms forward. On an exhale, keep reaching up And come all the way into Utkatasana, as deep in Utkatasana as your body will allow. Inhale to rise all the way up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise. 5 count exhale, Utkatasana. Inhale, rise. 5 count exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. 6 count exhale. Inhale, rise. 6 to fold. Continue 2 more rounds, 7 count exhales, and then 8. Linger in the fold when you get there for 1 more breath. So from here, just slide the left leg back for a low lunge. Soften into the hips. Feel free to release the left knee and shin to the ground. We're here for a 4 count inhale. 5 count exhale, shift the hips back, Ardha Hanumanasana. 4 count inhale to the lunge. 6 count exhale, shift back. Keep going. 7 count exhale. Then 8. Linger in Ardha Hanumanasana. 4 count inhale, 8 count exhale. Softening. One more breath. On the next inhale, come back into the lunge. And on an exhale, gently rotate the rib cage to the right for a twist. 4 breaths here, 4 count inhale, 8 count exhale. On an inhale, release the twist. And on an exhale, step the right foot back so you're on the hands and knees. Inhale to hinge forward. Exhale, lower to the belly. Press the toenails into the mat. Inhale, find a small cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift up to the hands and knees. Exhale to child's pose. Give yourself an extra breath here. And then inhale, return to the hands and the knees, tuck the toes. Exhale to downward facing dog. An extra breath in down dog. Inhale, lift the heels, soften the knees, look toward the hands, and exhale, step lightly to the top. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. From here, soften the knees and slide the right foot back, low lunge. Take a moment to release the hips a bit, and then maybe settle the right knee onto the mat. So moving dynamically again between the lunge and Ardha Hanumanasana. Each exhale will be a little bit longer than the one that precedes it. We'll inhale here for about 4 counts. 5 count exhale to shift the hips back. 4 count inhale. And carry on with this rhythm as we've established it. When you get to that 8 count exhale, stay in Ardha Hanumanasana. Continue to breathe about 4 more times. 4 count inhale, 8 count exhale. Nothing to achieve here. Just an invitation to softly be. One more breath. Inhale, come back into the lunge. Exhale, rotate the rib cage to the left. 4 breaths here in the twist. 4 count inhale, 8 count exhale. One more breath. On the inhale, let's release the twist. And on the exhale, slide the left foot back so you're on the hands and knees. Inhale to hinge forward. Exhale, lower to the belly. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale to release. Inhale, lift to the hands and knees. Exhale, child's pose. Stay for an extra breath. Inhale, back to the hands and knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. Stay for an extra breath. Inhale, lift the heels, soften the knees, look toward the hands. Exhale, step lightly to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, release your arms by your sides. Just breathe. Very good. Let's go ahead and take a seat. Coming into either just a comfortable cross-legged seat, or if it's available, Ardha Padmasana, half lotus. So start with the right leg either in front, or if you're going for that half lotus, up over the top. Stay upright for a moment and just soften. Preparing for a little twist here. On an inhale, reach the arms up. And on an exhale, rotate the rib cage to the right. Let the hands float down. Left hand can come onto the right knee or thigh. Right arm, if it's available, can reach behind the back and maybe take a hold of the foot. Then use the arms as support for the twist so that you can relax everything out. 4 count inhale, 8 count exhale. One more breath here, a little more ease in the body and in the mind. On the next inhale, release the twist. Just let the hands rest on the knees. Moving slowly, switch and set yourself up for the opposite leg. Stay upright for a few breaths. Preparing for the twist, inhale, extend the arms up. Exhale, rotate the ribs to the left. Let the arms just float down softly. Right hand can come on to the left near thigh. Left hand, if it's available, can reach behind the back and maybe take a hold of the foot. So use the arms to stabilize the posture so everything else can soften. 4 count inhale, 8 count exhale, about 4 breaths. One more breath here. Invite a little more ease. Then inhale to release. Let the hands rest on the knees. Exhale, just be a moment. Let's extend both legs out in front of us. One last seated posture with mind. You can keep the hands on the ground or on the legs. Take an inhale to find a little more space in the spine. And on an exhale, just fold forward out over the legs. 4 breaths is all. 4 count inhale, 8 count exhale. One more breath. On the inhale, gently rise. Exhale, just rest here a moment. And then lie down. Bend the knees, reach forward. Make your way onto your back. Rest for just a moment longer with the knees bent. If you're feeling any discomfort in your lower back, it could be helpful to lift once into bridge and to slowly lower back down. You're also welcome to explore a twist, though we've done several already, so you might be ready for Shavasana. Make your way into your resting position. Soften and settle. And then enjoy a few more breaths here. 4 count inhale, 8 count exhale. Stay in Shavasana. You can release shaping the breath whenever it feels appropriate. If you are concluding your practice today with this, linger for at least 10 more minutes. If you're transitioning into the rise, you still have about 5 minutes to stay as long as you like, and then gently join us. Either way, thank you. When you transition back out into the world, slowly, gently, and for as long as possible, resist any input of new information or sensation, and just allow yourself to be in this quiet